Hello, this is Vir Animus with VA Games. Welcome to my Let's Play of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. This is by far my favorite Sonic game ever created, and this is probably the peak of SEGA. This game was released in 1994. It was developed in tandem with Sonic and Knuckles, which was like an add-on cartridge, much like the N64's Game Shark. So the game, when you combine it with Sonic and Knuckles, it gives you, I think, 8 extra stages, bringing the total number of zones up to 14. It also introduces this guy. This is Knuckles the Echidna, everybody's favorite. Everyone loves Knuckles. And for good reason. Knuckles is awesome. You can play Sonic solo, Tails solo, Knuckles solo, or Sonic and Tails. And we're just going to go with Sonic and Tails, straight basic game. So as you can see here, Tails is flying the tornado, and Sonic is now supersonic. So you start off with all the emeralds. But then you lose them. Knuckles shows up and does something that has never been done before and has never been done since. He knocks Sonic out of super form and takes the Chaos Emeralds from him. Never happens ever again in the entire series, as far as I know. So that's a major theme, is getting them back, and this is how. The big golden ring I jumped into is a warp to the blue sphere game, which is this. You run around and you collect blue spheres. If you run into blue spheres, they turn into red spheres, and if you run into red spheres, that's the end of the game. Those white spheres with the red stars are bumpers, and they'll bump you backwards. A nuisance more than anything else, but in later stages they can screw you up if you're not paying attention. Thing about the blue sphere game, if you wanted to, I'm not going to, but if you wanted to, you can circle them like this to turn all of the spheres into rings. If you circle blue spheres with red spheres, they turn into rings. It's useful for getting a perfect. If you collect all the rings on a blue sphere game level, you will get a perfect. That's worth 50,000 points. Extra lives and continues abound, but you don't need them in this game. You will have more extra lives and continues than you'll know what to do with by the time you reach the end. So that concludes the first of 7 Chaos Emerald bonus stages. This is also my favorite Chaos Emerald bonus stage mechanic in the entire series. I hated the weird minigame you had to play in the first Sonic game, and some of the levels in some of the bonus stages in Sonic 2 were a little bit too hard. I mean, they were doable, but some of them were really rough. I like the blue sphere game. Now this is the mini-boss for Angel Island. However, can't do anything with him here. He will just set fire to Angel Island, and that's it. Can't kill him here. Just serves as a midway point cutscene for the game. Now jump down here and go off to the left for the second Chaos Emerald. Now this stage is very similar to the first, similar in size. The major thing to look out for is just that for newer players you might get lost. In later stages, I'm sure you're gonna get lost. I'm sure before I'm through with this, I'm gonna get lost. Some of these stages can be very confusing, very disorienting. The speed picks up as you go along. The speed picks up. So, right there you just saw the speed increase. That can get very confusing when you're making quick turns. That is the second Chaos Emerald. If you know where the hidden super rings are, you can actually acquire all 7 emeralds by Act 2 of the second stage, which is the Hydrocity Zone. That is the goal here. I want to get all of the emeralds by Act 2 of the second stage. We'll see how that works for me. This game also introduces shields. Now, shields were in the original Sonic, however, and Sonic 2. They're different this time around. They have elementals. The magnet shield, the electric shield, can protect you from electricity, which really isn't useful until a later stage. But they also, as you've undoubtedly noticed by now, they can attract rings. Just picked up the fire shield, and that allows me to kind of zoom around like this. It also protects me from fire, like this. This thing blows fire and can't get hit by fire when you're with the fire shield. So anyway, just jump on this thing and you'll kill it. Absolutely pathetic. That's the end of Act 1. So for Act 2, you actually get thrown directly into the third Emerald stage. Can't miss this one. I think it's just about impossible to miss this one. Couldn't even go around, you know, when you get through it. Can't go around it. So this one is extremely simple. This is probably the easiest of all 14 Blue Sphere games. It's very linear. You cannot get lost in this one because you can't go back. So just follow it through. It is a little trickier than some of the others to get a perfect, because you will in the end you'll have to jump over the bumpers. Like I just went through the gate, I guess you can call it, with the two blue spheres. You'll have to actually jump over the bumpers, skip the 2 blue spheres, get the last group, turn them into rings, collect the rings, and then jump back or go back and collect those 2 collect those 2 blue spheres. That's the only way to get a perfect in this stage, just in case you're wondering. Like I said, this one was very easy, and there's the next Chaos Emerald. We're gonna try for one more in Angel Island. And there's 2 or 3. I think there's 4 rings in Hydrosity. I don't really remember. Anyway, let me see if I can get through this without losing my fire shield. Yeah. That's alright, I'm getting the bubble shield anyway. Yeah, the bubble shield bounces. You don't really need the extra height, but it's nice to have, I guess. You could use Tails' flying ability to... Hey. Oh, I hate this bonus stage. Yeah, this one's just like the... Oh, and it makes me lose all my rings. What? Oh, that's not fair. Yeah, that's the bad part about this stage. That's terrible luck. Get something out of here at least. Yeah, this is fashioned in the same way as the original Emerald games from the first Sonic game. Anyway, I'm done with this. Let's end this here, if I can ever do it. 10 rings is enough for me. I never liked slots anyway. I was hoping for the other bonus stage to get some shields, but whatever. So, you want to jump back down here. The final ring stage in this level is here. Now this one is a little bit trickier than the ones we've just done. You can get lost, I guess, but I guess the major problem, and it's not really a problem, but if you're gonna get caught up anywhere, it's gonna be doing this jump. I've messed that up a few times, and it bounces you out, and you end up losing the stage just for that. So be careful. Other than that, it's real simple. Just follow this around. Save that big group in the middle for last, and all you got to do for it is just run around the perimeter. all those blue spheres in the middle are going to get turned into rings. If you wanted to get for, go for a perfect, I guess you'd want to go for this one first. Collect all those rings. There's a lot of them in this stage. But I'm not into all that, so there's our 4th emerald. I was hoping to get up there. Just climb back up the waterfall, and we're just about out of Angel Island. There's a bubble shield in here, but we're not going to be keeping it. Right through here is the end, the boss of the stage. Before you fight the boss, I guess you can call this another interactive cinematic scene. This little bomber is gonna harry Sonic with some bombs, but you can't actually get hit by them. Just hold off to the right and keep running, and Sonic's natural speed will keep him safe. As you can see, Tails is not so lucky. He will continue to bounce into these bombs and get obliterated, but that's okay. That's okay. Tails is the immortal one. There's Robotnik. Now be careful with this. A lot of people get really ambitious and try to hit him a lot over here and end up falling into the pit when he destroys the bridge. So just wait for him to come out and be careful. I just messed that up pretty hard. You could have killed him by there if I didn't. I could have killed him by there if I didn't mess that up, but I did. So the switch for the end of the level will be right up there. As soon as it comes down, hit it, and that ends Angel Island. See you over in Hydrocity.